Hey, good morning. Welcome to Wake Up Well. This week we've been looking through the whole theme of Sabbath and rest and what it looks like to truly find rest in Jesus. And today we're finding ourselves in Acts chapter 20, verse 7. Very simple first half of this verse. And it says this. It says, "On the first day of the week, we came together to break bread." Now, this is the Apostle Paul. He's been on his missionary journeys, and he's passing through a town called Troas, and it simply says, on the first day of the week, which was the Sunday. Jews traditionally had celebrated the Sabbath on Friday sundown through till Saturday sundown, and the new believers in Jesus were celebrating on Sundays, the day that Jesus had been raised to life again. So on the first day of the week, they gathered together to break bread. We learn two really key things here about Sabbath. First of all, Sabbath is a communal thing. Of all the rhythms and the habits and the practices that the Lord gives us to enable us to relate to Him, to be in close friendship with Him, Sabbath, this practice, this habit, is a communal thing. It's not a personal thing. And so just really practically, I want to encourage you now. It's not a legalistic thing when we have faith in Jesus. It's not like we have to do Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, but it is a good habit to have a day a week, a 24-hour period where we just get to set it apart. And so my question for you today is, first of all, who can you do that with? Who can you draw in to take that time of rest with? Yes, we find rest in Jesus, but He puts us in community to do it. If you were to go to Israel or find a Jewish family who does celebrate the Jewish Sabbath, you would find that they always do it together as family, and they always make space to welcome in the stranger to celebrate with them as well. Who can you rest with on your day of rest? Who can you invite in to celebrate Sabbath? And then secondly, what do they do when they gather together? It says in this place in Troas, they gather together to break bread. In other words, they center what they're doing around who Jesus is and what He has done on the cross. When you have a day off, when you set a day aside, yes, we want to have fun, we want to play games, we want to read a book, do whatever it is that enables you to chill out. But also, what are we doing collectively to center our rest around the one who gives us true rest? The writer to Hebrews tells us that there is this thing called Sabbath rest that we can enter into. And what it is the full understanding of the gospel, that we are, apart from Jesus, we have evil desires in our hearts. We can never come into the glory of God in our own ability. We can't work our way in. We can't be good enough. We can't work hard enough. But there is this Sabbath rest that we get to enter into when we come in faith in Jesus and what He did on the cross, that we are free from striving and free from our own effort and our own work. And by faith and by grace, we get to stand with our hearts purified by Jesus. And that is where we find rest. And so to take a day where we focus, we center it around a remembrance of who Jesus is and what He did on the cross, which that is what enables us to find and live out of a place of true rest. So my encouragement today, who can you rest with on a weekly basis, and what can you do practically to remember Jesus and what He did on the cross? It might be when in a season of our lives, Anna and myself, where we practice Sabbath really well. On a Friday night, we just invite people around, or we join with other people. We'd share a meal. We'd reflect and laugh and have fun over what's happened that week and thank Jesus for it. But we'd also share communion, remembering and partaking in the bread, the wine, the Jesus giving Himself as a sacrifice that it brings us into a place of freedom. And then on the Saturday, we'd have lots of fun. We'd have lots of food. We'd maybe go to the beach or play games with our friends, but we'd also have a time where we got into the Word together to remind ourselves of our hope that we have. So my encouragement to you today, what can you practically do to involve other people? Even in this time, in this season, we can still meet with 6 people. If that's something that's not possible for you for whatever reason, we can still connect online. But how can we rest with other people on a weekly basis? And how can we center all that we do for fun and for rest around remembering who Jesus is and what He did on the cross?